So from right now, right here, it doesn't look too different from the last time I posted anything. But if we look down here, you'll see there's no rear end. It's gone. Um, I finally found a new one for it. This is off of a Ranger Mazda B3000, whatever, four-wheel drive. It's a Ford 8.8 unit, a 373 ratio, and I got it set up on this little jig that I built so I could weld in the spring perches. And these are actually off of a trailer, or intended for a trailer, like 5,000-pound towing capacity trailer, whatever. But they're narrow enough to fit right in line on these narrow springs with the original hangers, which are these ones, which I still need to clean up. But see, these are very narrow, and you wouldn't be able to use like a traditional leaf spring hanger off of like a Ford or a Dodge because they're a lot wider. So those work fine, and I have them canted at 5 degrees, which is what the leaf springs are. Leaf springs are angled at 5 degrees, so in the right distance. So that'll work fine. This rear end is same distance hub to hub as the original Hudson rear end. So, that's a plus there. The only weird thing is that the U-joint yoke is offset way to the passenger side on this, probably because it was a four-wheel drive. That's just the way Ford did it, but that won't be that big of an issue. So anyway, still need to clean it all up. Want to replace the seals. This has a leaking front seal. Not too bad, but yeah, I want to replace it before I put it in. Clean it all up, paint it, make sure the spider gears are okay, and that's not going to cause any issues. So that is a major step forward on the project. And another major step forward, I got the brake master cylinder mounted. And then I just found out tonight that bypass valve, or regulator, brake pressure regulator valve, is leaking. It's seeping through the top of that warning indicator. So I'm going to have to do something about that. And I got a crazy cat in the background screaming. Let's see. Yep, crazy cat. Hey, Penelope. Wow. You come out? Okay. All right. And there's Penelope checking out everything. Okay. So, back to the car. I got the front seat support all welded in place, and that is all nice and solid. This part of the floor pan is just set in place right now. I still need to clean it up, do some more welding on it, and undercoat it before I mount it in place. And back to the back part of the car. I got the fuel line and the brake lines ran and plumbed. And this is the removable panel for under the seat so that I can get access to the fuel pump. There we go. Yeah, fuel pump is going to mount right here. I still have to get one. I have one that I was going to use, but I realized it's 4 psi max, which is not going to be enough pressure. Cat, what do you want? Maybe she wants to go out in the rain. I don't know. So anyway, now, as you can see, I got the fuel tank mounted. And that hose, the filler hose, is just up there for temporary. I still need to put in that part of the floor. And I am going to have a fuel door there. And hold on. How do I pause this? All right, where was I? Had to get the cat back out of here. She was just being very annoying. So, right, so I have the fuel tank mounted, and if you look back, you can see I have the rear seat back support all reconstructed and spare tire. I still have to come up with a T-bolt or, wing nut, whatever, and a stud to hold this in place. But that fits right in that little slot. This is the little stowage area I was saying I wanted to make. Still need to put sides, a side on here and somehow cover all that so it's, not protruding into the trunk. Still have to figure that out. And on this side, I'm going to have to sheathe like straight across and do like a U notch. And then, over, up and over right there, something like that. I'll figure it out. So anyway, I got the spare tire. This is off of a town car, like a 2098 to 2000 town car, something like that. And very lightweight, and it fits right in place, right just how I wanted it. And I got the exhaust pipe hanger fabricated, so after I get the bumper, the rear fascia and the bumper fabricated, then I'll just chop that exactly where I want it, and I might put chrome tips on it. We'll see. I don't know if I showed you these. Where is the... Hold on. I can't find it. No, I can't find it. Shock mount. I know where there's one. In my mess of a shop, here it is. Here's one of them. So, I got this. This slides right in there. Bolts will line up right there. And there is my rear bumper mount. Don't know what bumper I'm going to use on it yet, but at least I have a mount. That's a compressible bumper shock. And this is off of a Volkswagen. So it's a readily replaceable unit if it ever does have to be replaced. And there we go. Got that. Still need to do a lot as far as the trunk work goes, but I got a lot done over the weekend. Really, really pleased with the progress. Next step, of course, is going to be getting this rear end all cleaned up and painted and then installed. And shocks. Monroe truck shocks off of a Toyota. Perfect length. And they will fit in the stock location and be just fine. And I also, my prized louvered oil bath air cleaner that's going to sit on the engine, and just have to open up the throat to fit a 4-barrel instead of a 1-barrel. But that won't be too big of a process. Brake calipers and brackets. Somehow, let me see if I can get in here. Gonna have to figure out exactly where this is gonna end up. I may just drill a couple holes to mount it right on that flange for the original backing plate. It just depends on where the rotors line up. And I do have a couple rotors under there, 11 and 3/4 inch diameter, also off of a Ranger. And those will fit on the hubs after I take off the brake drum. Those rotors will just slide right onto the hubs. So that'll save a whole lot of trouble there. Then I just have to get the right back spacing for the brackets and mount the calipers. So yeah, that's what's going on there. And the engine is currently outside getting rained on, but I have it covered so it should be protected. And I pressure washed it yesterday, got it all clean and ready for paint. Now I have to wait for it to dry off before I can paint it. So yeah, it's been a while since I posted anything, and I know I'm just kind of rambling, telling everything that I've done to it. I still have to fix this portion of the frame. You can see under there's some rot. I'm gonna have to clean all that up and reinforce it with some kind of metal, like C-channel, like I've been using. Let me just use some of the C-channel, I guess, on the bottom of it and reinforce it that way. That should work. So yeah, so she's coming along. Next big goal, of course, I want it mechanically sound sometime this summer, so I can drive it around and then bring it back in the garage here and finish all the body and interior work. So yeah, anyway, I think I've gone far enough on this video and on this the work on it tonight. So if you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, comment. Yeah. And if any of you have watched Bad Chad, his recent video on the 36 Terraplane that he's chopping, I actually like what he's doing with his. The 37 has a little bit lower roof line than the 36 to begin with. That 36 is just a really tall roof compared to this, believe it or not. And of course, with this being a 2-door, it just kind of looks like the roof's lower anyway, maybe. But I'm keeping this one stock. I'm not gonna chop it. I like the lines. I like the way it looks. I like the interior room. So that's that. And like I said, like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all later. Good night.